game that was doing the rounds on PC and in early access and stuff last year, and our Dave Scammell liked it a lot, but you like a lot of dirty stuff. But yeah, so you've gone along and seen the console version.
Not literal dirt, Jim, but yeah, all right.
You've gone along and seen the console version. And it's looking good. But
you want me to tell you all about it?
Absolutely. But you were a big fan of the original game, right?
I did. I loved it. Yeah, it was very different to the previous Dirt games, and for the better, I think. The Dirt and Dirt 2 and 3, they were arcade races, big production values, indie rock music, funky main menus. Dirt Rally has none of that. It strips it back to the core appeal of Rally, and it feels like a proper rally simulation, which the others didn't. They were still great games, but they were arcade games. This one is a super hardcore, super intense rally game, and I think it's wonderful, Jim. And coming to PS4 and Xbox One in April.
Okay.
Runs at 1080p 60 frames on both, or at least they're targeting that on both. They say that they're confident that it will hit that on PS4.
Okay.
Xbox One may implement a dynamic resolution scaler that drops it down to 900p when it gets particularly demanding.
Okay.
But they still say it looks very good. I haven't seen the Xbox One version. I've only seen the PS4 version so far. The Xbox One version was there. It's not like they're hiding it away, but I was sat down on a PS4 console.
Well, I think that it's good that they're going to such strengths to target 60, because that's quite essential.
And it makes a big difference. Like, we were playing a bit of Sebastian Loeb Rally Evo, which is only 30 frames on console. And when you come from that to playing Dirt Rally, which is 60 frames on console, it does make a big difference. In a game like this, where it is all about the handling, it can really make the difference between...
it's all about snap decisions and that kind of thing. So it's the kind of game where, you know, nanosecond to nanosecond, you could do something that throws you off the road.
Yeah.
So you've got to... The game's got to allow for those quick reactions.
And it looks nice as well, not just in terms of performance, in terms of the actual visuals itself. It's not giving Drive Club or anything like that a run for its money, but it does a decent enough job, I think, when the snow comes down and it's night time and things like that. It can look quite pretty. One thing I did notice during the demanding scenes was that some of the stuff seemed to drop frame rate. So I noticed that windscreen wipers, when it was quite intense, when there was snow coming, they would render a little bit slower than 60 frames.
Right.
But it's just things like that. I think they've had to make compromises. It's nothing major. It seems to perform very well, very consistently, at least on PS4. But there's a lot of new content as well coming to the console versions.
Okay.
You've got some tutorial videos. They're not interactive tutorials. It doesn't teach you... It doesn't give you prompts while you're playing to learn. They're just a series of videos that you can watch, and they're fine. They're good for new players. There's also the option in the career... On the PC version up until now, you had to jump straight into a rally. On the console version, you can now choose to buy a rallycross car if you want to jump straight into like a competitive race against other cars on a track. So you've got that option. I think there's kind of a compromise for console players. Okay. But they're also releasing an update on the PC version at the the same that will bring full parity across both versions.
Everyone's getting the same
Everyone
game.
on PC will get the same thing. It's not like they're losing out.
Yeah. Okay. So, and there's no dumbing down or anything like that.
No,
that's always when a big sort of PC complicated simulation type game comes to consoles, that's always the first thing people say, isn't it? Oh, they're going to dumb it down.
And they're super keen to stress that they're not doing that at all, that they don't want to patronise console players, they don't want to dumb it down. It is as authentic as they can make it to the PC version. And that's fine. It's been compared by some people to like the Dark Souls of racing, which perhaps is it's not a silly thing to say, but
it is a very silly thing to say.
It's not like you're slaying dragons in a rally car or anything like that, you know. But you're constantly learning, and you're not going to come first when you start playing the game. You will end up halfway down the table, and that's fine. You learn the tracks, you learn what you're supposed to be doing, how to play it, and this was what I found when I first played the PC version last year. When I first played it at Codemasters, but just before it was announced, I thought I was going to hate it, Jim.
Yeah.
I was coming off the track. I just couldn't finish a race, and I was like, well, this isn't for me. Then when it came out, and I actually spent some time with it and learnt how it worked, it really starts to become quite rewarding, quite satisfying. When you learn to approach it, like if you learn to drive the car as if you were driving a real car, rather than playing it as you would any other racing game, you then start to learn how the car feels to drive. You really get a sense for that. That's when it becomes rewarding. That's when it becomes satisfying. You start doing a lot better.
They don't want to dumb it down. They don't want to patronise the console audience, and you know, it is a different audience, I think, fundamentally. But will console players be aware of the fact that this isn't like Dirt 3, or this is like this has got a different focus? It's the same branding, but it's a simulation. It's not an arcade racing game. How are they going to communicate that to?
I don't know. I think they've done a fair job up till now. I think if you're a Dirt fan, you'll probably be aware of what Dirt Rally is. I think as long as you're aware that this isn't. It's not easy to play. It is a challenge. It is quite intimidating, really, but that is half of the appeal. And I think there is a big enough console audience out there now that accepts that a game can be quite niche and can be quite demanding. But the satisfaction from it it's worth persevering.
Yeah. I think though. I don't want to suggest that those people have always been there on console. People who are into, you know, quote unquote complicated games. People who play more than just sort of AAA. It's not like there's a lot of crossover between the audiences, but I think the console audience is different in that you do get a lot more people who are just there for the big AAAs, and they don't necessarily read games magazines or whatever.
I guess the way that I'd compare it is it's not a simulation in the same sense that Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport is a simulation. They are simulations, but they are quite easy to play. You don't need to learn the car.
Right?
It's more like kind of maybe Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, that really demand that you learn how it plays. And I think as long as you can appreciate that going in, you'll get a lot out of it. There'll be some people that go, it's not Dirt 4. It's dropped all that sort of American big production value type stuff that I think a lot of people would have expected from a Dirt game. Had they not known about this in early access and seen it in a shop, a new Dirt game's out. Those sorts of people, they might have questions about it when they actually play it, but I don't think they're the kind of people that are listening to me talking about it now. So if you are interested in it, if you have been interested in the PC version, but obviously you don't have a good enough PC to run it, or you'd rather just play it on console, you're still, from what I can tell, from what I have played of the console version, it is a very faithful, authentic transition from PC. I wouldn't have said it played any differently to the PC version. I think it's just as good as the PC version, and it's probably the best rally game I've played in a very long time.
How does it play with a DualShock 4?
Fine, actually.
All right. Because the control's quite important. Might sound like I'm being facetious, but I'm not really.
I think there's obviously wheel support in there.
How many PS4 wheels are there? I don't know. It's not something I've ever looked into.
I don't know, Jim. I'm into my racing games, but not to that. I'm not a super hardcore.
Do you know what though? I want to get one for American Truck Sim. I want to get one that's got but you can't get one that's got like a 15-speed gear stick. It's a challenge.
Just try and squeeze a truck into the office, Jim.
Do you know what I really like doing? I really like gearing in games. It feels really novel.
Do you?
I love gearing. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I love
manual gears.
Yeah, manual gears.
Really?
I like because you're so used to just the game handling all that for you in driving games, or like the arcadey driving.
I should probably specify that there is automatic gears in Dirt Rally. It's not that much of a simulation where you have to put all that much work.
I'm sure
there is a manual option, but it's not like it forces you to actually play like you don't have to manual gear. I'm not sure I could play if it was manual only.
Manual gearing in a rally game might be really difficult because you've got to pay more attention to what you're doing. But no, I like gearing. That's why I like American Truck Sim. I like gearing up.
I'm not entirely sure what to say, Jim. But I'm sure they're gearing up.
I want to get a proper steering wheel with a gear stick and pedals and shit. Do you
remember Steel Battalion, Jim? The Xbox game where you had to have all the cockpit and all that, hundreds of buttons on it. Yeah, I always wanted that.
Yeah. I didn't. I just that's not a truck.
The eject button.
You don't have to gear that. That's just That's science fiction bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway, back onto the subject of Dirt Rally.
Yeah.
So it does have manual transmissions. So
I assume so.
I like gearing. I like that.
Well, we'll bear that in mind when it comes out, Jim.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
All right.
Because I really would like you to play it. It's very good, Jim.
When it comes, when we have it in the office, I will sit down with you and you can teach me how to play it.
All right, deal.
And we'll turn manual transmission on. I'll get really excited.
Excellent. Make manual the thing of 2016.
Yeah.
Everything's manual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.